Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Hey, it's Nate with another piano tutorial. Today I'm doing Yesterday by the Beatles. This one needs no introduction. One of the most famous pop songs ever with thousands of versions recorded. While the chord progressions are a bit complicated, there's only 2 of them and they're short, so this should be a pretty quick one. This version copies Paul McCartney's acoustic guitar part note for note, rhythm for rhythm, but I'll start off with a simpler rhythm option that might be a bit easier to play on piano. Let's jump in. Okay, so first off, I recommend getting the chords and lyrics chart. There's a link down in the description that'll help you follow along and see where the chords line up with the words. And this song is in the key of F major, so B's are flat, and this is middle C for reference here. Let's just start out with the intro. It's 2 measures of F. And for this F chord and most of the F's in the song, we're gonna do kind of a thinner version that doesn't include the major third in it. So it's just gonna be middle C here and F up here. 2nd and 5th finger works nicely there. And I'm down on my 3rd finger, like a few octaves lower on a F bass note. And we're in 4/4 time, so each of these 2 measures gets 4 counts. And for now, let's do a version where we just do simple quarter notes in the right hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, just holding the left hand bass note. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that would be the entire intro, and then we'd start the verse. Yesterday. So here is the verse chord progression here. As you can see, it starts off with another measure of F. We can do that just like the 2 measures in the intro. And then we've got an E minor. So I'm gonna step down to my 4th finger for the bass note, and I'm gonna do a G, a B, and an E here, 1st, 2nd, and 5th finger. And notice how there's 2 chords in this measure, so it's divided in half. Each of these chords gets only 2 counts, so the E minor is going to be 1, 2, and then for the A7 we're going to do 3, 4. So for that A7, we're going to come up. I'm actually going to stretch to my 2nd finger here for this A bass note, and then here's the notes for the A7. We got a G, C sharp or D flat, and E there. So notice that our pinky stays on E. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're gonna land in a D minor up here like this. So our thumb is gonna hit this D, and then the right hand's gonna do F, A, and D like that. And this measure, notice how we have these little dashes there. That's to represent the counts where you're staying on the D minor, because it's not an even split this time. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So on beat 4 there, it's just D minor over C. So still the same D minor, but we're just stepping down to a C bass note. One more time on these first 2 measures. So it's gonna be yesterday. All my troubles seem so far away. 3, 4. Let's keep going. Now we've got this B flat major 7. Conveniently, the right hand can keep doing the same thing. We're just going to continue our walk down and put the 3rd finger on B flat. Nice, pretty sounding chord there. So that's going to be for 2 counts. 1, 2. Going up to a C7, so we're gonna step up to 2nd finger on the C here. I'm just gonna move my hand shape up like this. It's gonna be a G, B flat with the 2nd finger, pinky on E. So again, that measure is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4. Going back to F, and we can do that the same way we've been doing it. I'm gonna move my 3rd finger here, because we're gonna need to walk down in a second. 1, 2, 3, and now on the last beat of that, just stepping down the E bass note, 4. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost done here. D minor 7. So we're gonna move our right hand down, pinky's on D here, F, and then C. And that's gonna be for 2 counts, 2. Coming up to a root position G major triad. So 2nd finger can hit the G here, and I'm just gonna come up here. G, B, D. Now, This next measure is a little interesting. We've got a B flat, and I'm just gonna do the fifths on this. So B flat, I like my thumb there, B flat, F, and then coming back down to F. Now this time, I am going to fill out the full chord, including my thumb on A. Just sounds a little nice there, and even if the guitar doesn't do it, the strings kind of voice that whole chord there. And to get the rhythm right in this measure, we really need to be thinking in eighth notes. So we're dividing those 4 counts in half, thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the counting there is going to be 1, 2, and 3, 4. So we hit on 1, hit on 2, and then again on the and after 2, and then hold it. 1, 2, and of course that just follows yesterday, 4, and then it would circle back around. Now that we talked about eighth notes, I want to add in a little detail in the left hand that you might be hearing, which is going to be yesterday, 2, 3, 4, and 1. So that's why I had my third finger here, so we could step down to the D and then to the fourth finger to land on the E. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and then anytime we have these measures where it's 2 chords evenly split, there's an extra bass note hit that's like 1, 2, and 3, 4, and you can just throw those in. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2. And you can even throw it in there like 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4. And that's the whole verse. Okay, so now I'm going to teach you the chords for the chorus, then the outro. We can use this simple rhythm for now, and then I will come back and show you the full guitar rhythm from the recording. Here's the chords for the chorus. It's just these 4 measures repeated twice. So right off the bat, we've got a E minor 7, so of course we're going to do an E bass note here, and going to voice this like this, just fifths in the right hand, G and D, and of course that's going to use that same 1, 2, and then we've got the A7 just like we did it in the verses. Now we've got a D minor. This measure has something going on every single count. Actually, so we're going to land in a D minor. It's going to be an inversion up from the D minor we did in the verse. So A, D, and F. And notice the left hand, all that's happening, if we look at the notes or the notes after the slashes, which is what the left hand plays, it's just stepping down D, C, B flat, A, and of course that's on its way to the G in the next measure. So just get a feel for that. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's of course on the had to go, I don't. Forms a nice harmony with that. Had to go. Anyway, and so I'm gonna do this D minor chord for the D, left hand. D minor over C, same thing. When we get to this B flat, I'm gonna put my thumb up on the B flat note. So B flat, D, F. And then for the B flat over A, we can just do the same thing in the right hand. So again, that measure is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to land in this G minor 6, kind of a dissonant sounding chord there. And notice this is actually the exact same thing we did in the right hand for the C7 before. It's just we're doing a G bass note. And then conveniently, C7 is the next chord, so all we got to do is change the bass note to a C, and then land on F, and that can be the simplified F that we were doing. Then it goes around a second time for I said something wrong, now I long for yesterday. So, on the last F, so second time through, when you get to yesterday, we're gonna start off that moment just by doing the high F, so just a little bit above middle C. Then we're gonna do a C, then a B flat, then an A. For the first chorus, we just hear it in the instrumental. It's not sung, just yesterday. Although at the second chorus, he does sing day. It helps to hold down the sustain pedal here, so you still kind of hear all the notes ringing out to hear that whole chord. And by the way, I'm using the sustain pedal this whole cover, just holding it down with a quick lift every time the chord changes. Lift. Here you would do lift, lift, lift. If you need help coordinating pedal lift timing, I made a video all about that. Okay, and the last section we need to talk about is the outro. Here's the chords for the outro. It's just 2 measures long, pretty simple. We're just doing F over C here. So for the F, we're gonna do the same 2 notes we've been doing, C and F, and then the left hand is gonna play a C bass note. That's for 2 counts. Then stepping down to G7 over B. So all that happens is the 2 C's, 1 in each hand, step down to B. And then this next measure is the same as what we learned for the end of the verses. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Of course, that's going to be. And that's how the song ends. Now, before we make the rhythm more tricky, I am going to just sing through a verse and a chorus the way we've got it so far. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say. I said something wrong. Now I long for yesterday. And then it would go around to the next verse. Okay, so that's a totally legit way to cover Yesterday on piano. On the Beatles recording, Paul plays a little bit more busy rhythm on the acoustic guitar. Basically, you're going to play on beat 1 and 3 in the left hand, and then the right hand's going to play the chord on all the other eighth notes. It's going to sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Recommend just getting a hang of that with the intro, just looping that a few times. And then when the verse starts, it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Notice I'm not adding that extra hit there. That was just something I added to make the simpler piano version groove a little better, but you can keep it simple and just focus on the eighth notes in the right hander. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So when we have these walk down moments, like in this measure and then also in the F to F over E in the next measure, we're going to do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you kind of, as you walk down, go back and forth. Little tricky. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So again here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. And then it's going to work the same way in the chorus. And then in that second measure with the D, D minor over C, where something happens every count, he does something really interesting. It's going to sound like this. So from why she had to go, I don't know. So in that moment, does the same stepping down in the left hand that we already learned, but the right hand is going to basically double the vocal melody. So I'm going to put my third finger on this D, and I'm going to do D, E, F, and then E, D when I step down to the A there. Had to go, I don't. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and, but of course, it's just following the vocal melody, so you can get the rhythm that way. And then as soon as we get to the G minor 6, we just kind of snap right back into that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. And then it just repeats that around again. Now I just want to say that is exactly what he plays on guitar, but there's also strings that happen. So if that feels too empty to you, you could totally do the chorded approach from the other version. One final detail I might throw in is at the end of the first line in the second chorus, the cello does this cool melody that's like, oh no, she wouldn't say da, 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 da. It's sort of implying a F dominant 7, which is kind of a fresh and surprising quality there. So I'm not gonna try to play that whole melody, but I might just throw in my thumb on E flat there just to kind of get a little bit of that color. Okay, I think we have covered everything. I am now going to do a full cover so you can see how all these different parts fit together. If you found this video helpful, give it a like. Also subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Click the bell so you know when I put out more videos like this one. Also leave a request in the comments. Okay, here's my version of Yesterday. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Suddenly, I'm not half the man I used to be. There's a shadow hanging over me. Oh, yesterday came suddenly. Why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say. I said something wrong. Now I long for yesterday. Yesterday, love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Why she had to go, I don't know. She wouldn't say. I said something wrong. Now I long for yesterday. Yesterday, love was such an easy game to play. Now I need a place to hide